Hey everyone, we've had quite a lot of leaks since my last video, so I wanted to make another, laying every single 2025 LEGO Star Wars leak out there in one video. We'll look at everything we know coming in 2025, including a UT-AT, a $40 327th Clone Trooper Battle Pack, and even a $1,000 Death Star set. So far, 2025 seems to be a crazy good year for LEGO. Now the first thing I'll mention is the January set wave, which is very nice, but they've already been revealed, so I'm not going to really talk about those. Plus, I already have another video talking about them if you want my opinion on those sets. So that said, we'll move right along into the March and May timeline. The first one is the 75400 Plo Koon's Jedi Starfighter Microfighter. It'll be $13, which seems a little expensive, but this should be a good set. I'm so glad Plo Koon is finally going to see his return to LEGO. It's long overdue. And even though a playset would have been nicer, I love the direction they're taking with microfighters. They're starting to give us more popular characters that are interesting, and that's exactly what I think this line of sets should be. Small, cool little microfighters with a big name minifigure that we all want at a cheap price. Set 75407 is the next one we have to talk about, and it's a little weirder. It's an 18 plus Star Wars logo. It's rumored to have 700 pieces for $70 and is expected to be kind of just a simple build of the Star Wars logo. From what we've heard, it's nothing too special. There's not even a minifigure selection to it. And while the logo idea is kind of cool, it feels like it's just going to end up being pretty plain. I'm hoping there's some extra spice LEGO adds to the build to make it a little more interesting, but only time will tell. Next, set 75408 is Jango Fett's helmet. The helmet collection continues to roll on with Jango Fett. No word on piece count yet, but at $80, it's priced along the lines of the other helmets. After Captain Rex and Commander Cody, it's nice to see the prequel helmets continuing. This set should look pretty nice, and I imagine it'll look very similar to Mando's helmet that we got from this line not too long ago. Should be a nice 18 plus set. After that, we have another 18 plus set, the 75416 Buildable Chopper. I absolutely love this idea from Rebels. It sounds fantastic. At $100, it should be in line with previous buildable droids as well. We don't have a piece count yet, but I'm hopeful that LEGO will bring out all the personality Chopper is known for. He's a little different than your average astromech, so this should be a really fun display piece. Not to mention it's nice to see Rebels getting some sets again. Then the final release for May is the UCS Slave 1. Set number 75409. At $240, we'll get a highly detailed Jango Fett with leg and arm printing, plus a young Boba Fett. Now again, yes, you heard me correct, a UCS Slave 1. Jango Fett Slave 1 has been missing in action for such a long time in LEGO. It's had a lot of fans crying out for a remake. Honestly, it was getting to the point though that we didn't really think we were going to see one. Then LEGO turns it around on us and gives us a UCS model. This set is going to stand out with its iconic shape and colors. It's been a long time in the making, and I can't wait to see how LEGO executes it on this larger UCS scale. I imagine it'll look pretty similar to the last UCS Slave 1, but obviously recolored. If that's the case though, I will not complain because that was an amazing set. This is definitely one of the biggest rumors in the recent couple years, and I can't wait to see this set. Now finally we made our way to June. The first set is the 75399 U-Wing. And that's right, the U-Wing is back, with 594 pieces for $70. This one, however, is based on Andor, which is fantastic because that's an awesome show that deserves more attention. I can't wait to see what they whip up with this one. I assume it's going to be fairly similar to the last one we got. That one wasn't too long ago and it was very nicely detailed, so it'll probably be extremely similar. And I can't wait to get it as someone who missed out the first time. Then after that, we have the 75415 Kylo Ren's helmet. This is going to be one of our first real sequel sets for quite some time. That said, I'm not surprised at the choice. He's one of the few characters most people like in spite of the poor movies. So that said, this set could actually do really well despite the controversy surrounding those films. My only question for the set is if they're going to go off the fully formed normal helmet we saw in Force Awakens, or are we going to see the one we saw in The Rise of Skywalker that's reformed and blended together with those red cracks. I think that version would be really cool to see, but I don't think LEGO could probably capture it very well, so I'm leaning more likely towards we're going to see the first version. Either way, though, I think it'll be pretty good because Kylo Ren is one of the better parts of those movies. After that, continuing the sequel trend, we have the 75406 Kylo Ren's Shuttle, rumored to be in mini scale. This one is very surprising. I'm wondering if this is supposed to be a polybag. That's what I assume by the rumor of the mini build. I don't really care for mini builds. I don't really care for this ship. So it's not much for me, but I think it'll be fine, and it's a nice gesture to those few sequel fans out there. After that, we have the 75412 Death Trooper and Night Trooper Battle Pack for $20. Now this one's a little late. It's a little past its relevancy, but I think it still should be neat. Based on the Ahsoka show, it seems like the build will be a scaled down Imperial Guard gunship, which should be pretty interesting to see how they tackle that. The figures, though, are what I'm excited for. Of course, with every battle pack, there should be 4 of them, and it looks like it's going to be split between 2 Death Troopers and 2 normal Night Troopers. First off, I love the idea of this set because the zombified, battle-worn look on these figures is super cool and different, and I can't wait to see how they tackle the Death Troopers with that. Not to mention, the mold will return for the Death Troopers, opening the window for them to return in a normal fashion as well, not this zombified version. That said, though, this set in general I think will be pretty good. Even if it's late, Ahsoka Season 2 I'm sure isn't far away, so it'll line up with that pretty well. Next up, we have the 75430 $90 buildable Ewok. While some people might not be a fan of this, I absolutely love this idea. I really like the buildable characters, and even though Chewbacca wasn't thought of as fondly by a lot of people, I actually liked him. So that said, I think the Ewok will be obviously somewhat similar, given that they look a lot like Wookiees, but just way smaller. For this Ewok in particular, though, I think it has to be Wicket. He's the main one we see, and it would make no sense to really do anyone else. I can't wait for the set, and I like that they're branching out with this buildable figure line. An Ewok was a great choice, and I can't wait to see how it turns out. Now we've made our way to August, and I'll start talking about the 75434 $90 K2SO. Another buildable figure that should be pretty darn good. Some people are disappointed that this is the second Andor set, and I will admit I am a little bit too, but I don't think we can judge the set for all these buildable characters have been great, and I don't see any reason why this one won't be. Then after that we can move on to the Darth Maul mech, which doesn't really have a lot of information on it. And honestly, there's not too much to say about it. Darth Maul's a cool minifigure as always, and so I guess it's good that we'll be able to get him again. But I can only imagine this mech will probably end up being average like the rest. So nothing too exciting for most of us out there. Maybe some kids will enjoy it though. After that we have the 75435 $150 MTT. And finally we are getting another MTT and a Separatist vehicle. This is big for both those reasons. The last MTT was in 2015 and way too small. And again, the Separatists have been getting the short end of the stick and not having many sets based on them. LEGO has been kind of fitting them in more and more and giving them some vehicles, but it's been a slow uptick in sets. Finally though, it seems we're going to have one completely dedicated to the droids. Another interesting thing to note about this set though, is that some people have claimed it's the blue Clone Wars version. That would be really cool in our first time seeing it, and given that we just got the Coruscant Guard gunship, I wouldn't be totally surprised if they did go this route. Either way though, I can't wait, and MTT is long overdue. Next up we have the big one, the 75419 $1,000 Death Star 2. And wow, this is just crazy. I don't even know what to make of this. Unfortunately, many people won't be able to afford this, but I am still glad it's there for people who can. I am very surprised that LEGO made this jump so soon. I didn't think we'd get a $1,000 set for at least a few more years. That said, at $1,000, this should be a crazy huge and detailed set. Everything should be perfect because that is a huge price tag, and if anyone's going to commit that much to one LEGO set, it needs to be amazing. That said, it's hard to make any more accusations without more info and set images, so we'll just have to wait and see how this one turns out. Next up, we surprisingly have another UCS set to talk about, the 75417 $200 UCS AT-AT. 75417 $200 UCS AT-ST. Now this one came as a complete shock because it's the third UCS set that was rumored for next year. LEGO has found themselves in a pattern of doing one smaller UCS set and one bigger UCS set each year. Now in 2025, it seems like we'll be getting 3 UCS sets, which seems crazy, especially when I just talked about how the last one's going to be $1,000. Anyhow, though, this UCS ATSD should be pretty cool. It's been a while since we got one, so I am glad that they circled back around and we'll finally be seeing this. Plus, a UCS ground vehicle is nice to see. We get so many starships that it's nice to see a ground vehicle make its way into the big UCS scale. Like I said though earlier, I'm just surprised this will be the third UCS set for the year. It seems like LEGO's making a larger push for the adult market more than ever. Very interesting to see, and 2025 is shaping up to be quite a crazy year for LEGO. Speaking of crazy sets, we have another one at 7.5, $413, $150 UT-AT. And that's right, you heard me right, a UT-AT. This rumor, however, is a little bit shaky. But if it's true, I can't wait. The build should be good as it's been so long in the making, but the figures will be the main selling point for this one. We've been waiting for the Galactic Marines for so long that I just can't believe they're going to be finally here in 2025. Getting back to the build though, the build is rumored to only have 813 pieces, which seems way too little for the price. Maybe there's just some big pieces, but even then, something seems off. I want to believe it'd be so cool to see UT-AT next year, but I'd take this one with a grain of salt at this point. Which is tough for me to say, but the shaky rumors and the 813 pieces for $150 seems a little weird. However, with the way LEGO's moving with their prices, maybe it's not. On to our next leak, that is the 75414 $50 turbo tank. And yeah, this is a weird one. It's clearly going to be scaled down or some sort of 4+ style set. At $50, you cannot have a very big turbo tank at all. The only thing we can look forward to is maybe some good minifigures, so that'll still be on the table and hopefully we get some of those. Lastly, we're here with the final leak in the video, the 75431. It's 327th Star Corps Battle Pack at $40 for 258 pieces. And finally, I have wanted the Star Corps for so long. They introduced the micro binocular pieces a while ago, and ever since then, I've just been gunning for them, saying, where are they? Because it just makes perfect sense. They're one of the best looking clone legions, and I wonder what they'll look like in official LEGO. My only question for the set though is about that piece and price point. At $40, I'm not sure this can be considered a battle pack. Unless it's full of more than 4 clones, I will be very disappointed in this set. This is more expensive than any battle pack before, and the piece count isn't that high, so there must be a huge list of minifigures, which in that case I can commend them for. Because who knows, maybe there'll be 6 clones versus some commando droids or something like that. That'd be cool and definitely worth the $40 price point. It's still a tough pill to swallow for battle pack, but if they make it worth 2 battle packs, then there's no issue. There seem to be so many questions going into this next year. Even with those leaks, I'm still wondering what this year will look like. There's so many new and interesting sets and ideas LEGO will be hitting us with next year. I can't wait to see what happens. Let me know in the comments what you think and what sets you're looking forward to. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe for more, and I'll see you guys later.